Hi, friends. Today I'm going to talk about some of the most important strategies addressing real time communication tasks. Yes, friends, this is Mangalaprathaban Muralidharan from India, going to talk to you about how to address the real time communication tasks that we possibly create in our classrooms. A teacher is a creator. Teacher continues to create new tasks. The teacher innovates all the time. Please remember, teachers now really get stuck with all that they have been doing over a period of time. They don't seem to repeat the same again and again. They are trying to come up with innovative tasks and customize the tasks, carefully personalize the tasks, and they do care for individualized counseling. Friends, please remember, individualized counseling is extremely important if you're very serious about making learners learn effectively, right? As teachers, we have great responsibility to understand the kind of challenges and barriers that a particular learner faces. Because every learner has a personality, has a socio-cultural background, and every learner has a particular pace of learning. And learning capacity of each learner varies from time to time, depending on what sort of situation are they in, right? In case they are facing tremendous economic pressure, then the child finds it very difficult to pick up learning because he or she is all the time thinking about the difficulties. So learner motivation plays a very vital role on such scenarios. So that is why I say counseling the learners is extremely important when they face difficulties, because it could be all about even a lack of attention. They can't be attentive, they can't understand what they listen to. Then there is a real issue in terms of their mental makeup. So please, friends, please be aware their mental makeup is extremely important. They have to be highly motivated to learn. A teacher has a responsibility to understand what kind of challenges do these learners face. What is their actual background? Are they really keen on learning? Or do they find it difficult to learn because of fellow learners? And remember, pair learning or a group learning is extremely important for us. If you are very serious about making learning quite easy, enjoyable, and for that, you need to provide flexi learning processes. What is flexi learning all about? Today, we talk about anywhere, anytime learning, app based learning, right? Web based learning. You have web apps available, you have hybrid apps available. You can use Android apps or iOS apps to learn anything you want to learn. Friends, learning anytime, anywhere does not mean it is highly customized. If it is a direct learning, it is highly customized learning process. Of course, online learning, if it is going to be a live telecast, live conferencing, live teleconferencing, then learning becomes easier. Learning becomes enjoyable process because the teacher customizes every aspect of learning. The teacher understands the nitty-gritties of learner psychology. Learners find it extremely easy to capture whatever the teacher says only when they understand the teacher. For which, please ask yourself how to inspire them, how to narrate stories to attract them, how to really come up with jokes so they can laugh and release their learning stress. Learning stress gets accumulated. Friends, please ask yourself, learning stress gets accumulated. On several occasions, I have informed many of my own teacher friends that students get unwanted stress because they don't have clarity on saliency of tasks, right? So there is no pre-tasking done properly and explain the task in a simple, easy way. Analyze the task, help them to understand the task, give them samples of language. Language teaching is all about providing the best samples of learning. Many people don't understand. Oh, he's playing something. He's playing a video. That's it. Nothing else is happening. This is what the traditional teachers might think about. But remember, learning to listen is all about learning to understand. Learning to understand is all about learning to make use of whatever you've listened in appropriate context. So context specific learning inputs are very important for us. We'll have to really provide context specific learning inputs. And if you don't really worry about the context of learning, context of communication, then learning is not going to happen in a big way. I always say learning becomes easier when you contextualize all the utterances, so, all kinds of communicative processes one by one. So native speaker context and non-native speaker context could be taken into account. And the culture of the context also matters. Please remember, culture varies from place to place, from society to society. So if we are teaching rural children, and we should know their culture, their background, their understanding, their preferences, their attitude, their tendencies, their likes, their dislikes. Accordingly, we'll have to modify the learning content. That is why I always say localize the tasks, localize your textbooks by providing ready-made available samples of language which they can make use of. If not, all that you teach may not be intelligible to them. You're talking about 18th century, England, or 19th century America, or for that matter, you're talking about 17th century, Japan. It's of no use. Wherever you are, you're going to really ask yourself, what is the context? In which context am I saying this? Do they understand it? Do we have any specific, a sample that I can provide them? Then that's going to really help them in a big way. So think about it. And I'm sure you'll understand this better if you keep asking yourself real-time communication. For real-time communication, the best instructional practices that I would always advocate is to make use of all that is available to you and provide great number of samples, easy samples, and then slowly, explain them. Try to help them practice. Give them some time to reflect. So reflective learning is extremely important. Otherwise, learning is not going to happen, right? So reflective learning is what you really require. Work on reflective learning, then they learn better. And if they really learn to understand whatever you say, then they learn to use it, and give them enough opportunities to make use of all that they have learned, right? Encourage them, recognize them, reward them. That is how communication becomes the best, in due course of time. And I'm sure as teachers, we can come up with hundreds of new opportunities, create new opportunities for them. And friends, if our course correction is required, if there is some modification, correction required, if you want to really provide instant feedback, please don't correct everything at a time. Go step by step. Do one correction, one or two corrections a day, or make them aware, create learner awareness, and then try to modify it. That is what is the best for you. Wish you all success. If you want to know more about me, visit me at www.mangalaprathaban.com. That is www.mangalaprathaban.com. If you want to know more about me, you can also visit my podcast. You can listen to my podcast available. You can just type Mangalaprathaban's podcast in Google. You can go to Google SoundCloud, or you can also listen to my podcast in the Spotify. It's Mangal's views on motivating yourself to learn something new. So that's the name of the podcast, a very lengthy name, but you can type Mangalaprathaban's podcast in your Apple iTunes and your Spotify. And, there are hundreds of other platforms which possibly render my podcast. Listen to these podcasts, and these podcasts are listened by people in 29 countries. You can also visit my blog, www.poetmangalaprathaban.blogspot.com. That is www.poetmangalaprathaban.blogspot.com. right? You can also subscribe to this YouTube channel if possible, promote it. Make sure if you have any ideas, reach out to me. I'm there to support you in every way possible. Wish you all success. Have a great day. Bye bye. See you.